the Labour leader has urged young people to take control of their future and vote to remain in the EU. Jeremy Corbyn said the next generation will be most affected by the outcome of the referendum on June 23. He told an audience in Liverpool, "If you don't register to vote, then you have no voice." Meanwhile, the Leave campaign criticised the daily avalanche of institutional propaganda against leaving the EU as the IMF warns of bad consequences. Elsewhere on the campaign trail, former Conservative PM John Major will give a speech in Oxford, accusing those campaigning for the UK to leave the EU of fueling prejudice in the way they discuss the impact of immigration on the UK. Government ministers Priti, Patel and Mordaunt are out campaigning for a Leave vote in Portsmouth. Harriet, Harman and Gisela Stuart have been debating whether the EU is needed to protect women's rights. On Friday, Mr. Corbyn launched a voter registration drive in Liverpool, telling an audience of young voters that their future was at stake. Polls suggest that the under 30s are the most pro-EU but are least likely to vote, while older voters are more likely to favour Brexit. The Labour leader urged young voters to make sure they registered to vote in the referendum on June 23. Take destiny in your own hands, register to vote and make your decision. Don't let somebody else make it for you. He said it would be young people who will make the difference and urged them to embrace the idea of people working together across Europe to tackle climate change, inequality, and to hold global corporations to account. Later, in a speech at Oxford University, former Conservative PM John Major will suggest some of his party colleagues who are campaigning for the UK to leave the EU risk morphing into UKIP by turning to their default position, immigration. This is their trump card. I urge them to take care. This is dangerous territory that, if handled carelessly, can open up long-term divisions in our society, he will say. But UKIP leader Nigel Farage told LBC Radio that the Remain campaign knew that the strongest hand that the Leave camp have got is that by leaving the EU, we get back control of our borders and we would be able to put in place an Australian-style points system. But he said the official Vote Leave campaign, of which UKIP is not a part, don't think I should exist and were more concerned about Conservative Party politics than winning the referendum. Asked about Bank of England Governor Mark Carney's comments on Thursday that a vote to leave could hit the UK economy, Mr. Farage dismissed all these forecasts of doom and gloom, adding, "Mr. Carney is paid out of the public purse and is doing the government's bidding, isn't he?" He added, "The whole apparatus of government at every level is being mobilized to tell us what we should think. I suspect he would be fired if he didn't take the government's side."